Hi, welcome to Laura Spindora. Today I'm going to show you how I made the Grinch's girlfriend's PJs. So this is from the classic movie The Grinch with Jim Carrey, kind of the live action movie of The Grinch. Okay, so I got this chiffon light blue material at Walmart for a good price. It was like $1 and some cents or something per yard. So I got quite a bit of this. I believe I got 7 yards, and I cut it into 3 pieces. So I measured my length from my shoulder down all the way to the ground and I'm going to I cut the 2 side panels that will go in front first, and I'm about 2 feet long and created a armpit where my arm's gonna come through. So I made sure both sides are exactly the same, and then I measured out the back side, created the same kind of loop shape at the very top where my arms are gonna fit through, and then I angled it quite a bit to create a flare out, so the robe's not just going to fall straight down, it's going to kind of flare out. And I repeated the process on the other side of the back piece. Then for the sleeves, I just cut a very large rectangle and folded it in half in the same length of the whole pieces that it will be. So I pinned the top parts of the sleeve together, and I measured out about 3.5 inches on both sides for the shoulder length of it, what it's going to be. Then the rest is going to flop, kind of create the color, which will help with the add on white fur that I'm going to create. And I sewed and zigzag sewed the both shoulder pieces. Then I put the sides together and also sewed down completely both sides. So for the sleeves, I am making them super huge for now, and I'm just going to sew down the seam and zigzag sew, and then I'm going to insert it into where the arm's going to be, the loopy part, and sew around and zigzag sew around as well. Alright, so I don't want the sleeves to be huge like this, so I'm pinning it where I want it. I first put my arm through, and then I just pinned where I wanted to take it in. Then I sewed down that way, cut off the excess one, and just went to the other sleeve and matched it up and pinned, sewed, and cut off the excess fabric. So both sleeves are the same. Now I put it on at this point, and I realized I didn't have a long enough train that I wanted to have. So I cut down the middle of the back piece all the way up to kind of the middle part of the back. So it had about 1.5 feet from the back. So then I cut out a very large triangle to fit into this huge cut that I just made to create the train. I pinned that, sewed it, and then I cut off the excess fabric to match with the other ends. Now I wanted to create a nice round part in the front, so I just gathered both front pieces together on the bottom part and cut a round part on the sharp corner. Okay, on to the white fluffy stuff. Okay, so first I'm gonna sew the bottom and the train section, and then I'll work on the collar. So for this, I cut out a 7-inch long strips of white cotton, and then I repeated the cuts on the furry part. So the white cotton is gonna be the part dragging on the ground, so I don't gather anything with the fuzzy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the long ends together So sew the short ends of the cotton together and then sew it right sides together with the furry part. Just one long end. So I'm creating this long strip that has a cotton side and a furry side. Then I'm going to pin it to the bottom part of my robe and sew that down. And then I will roll up the white cotton up to the top of the furry part, roll the edges, the raw edges over, and sew hand stitch it down. Okay, on to the collar part. So the collar part is going to have both sides fuzzy. So I just repeated the process, but instead of having one cotton side, I have both sides fuzzy. So right sides together and sew one end, one long end to make a long strip, and then I pinned where I wanted the collar to fit at the top, and I sewed it on and cut off all the extra blue chiffon fabric that I didn't need. Alright, on to the sleeves. So I took about 1.25 foot length strip of the fuzzy parts fabric, a long, very long, just all the, I think it's 52-inch or 60-inch fabric by 1.25 foot, and I sewed the short ends together, right sides together, to create this rather large loop. Then I fit it to the sleeve and pinned where the sleeve was going to end at the bottom, and I sew down from there. So it has a nice small opening for the sleeve, and then the other opening is wide open. Now the larger opening I just fold over and sew the edge so it has a nice clean edge. And then for the sleeves, put right sides together and sewed the sleeve to the small opening. And that is how I created the large dangly sleeve. And I just repeated the process for the other side. Now to create a more shapely robe, I added some eye hooks to the front part of the fur and just hand stitched them together. And then I added elastic all the way around. I stitched it on 3 sides, so I stitched the side parts underneath the fur, the white fur, and then I stitched it down the middle. And it's about the same, it's located just at the point of the long train cut that I had made previous. So it kind of hides that ugly point. Okay, so after I stitched the elastic, I'm going to hide this elastic with a large 3-inch ribbon of the same color. Stitch it in the same location, so the sides and the middle. So it doesn't affect the elastic, but it hides it. Okay, and it's all done. See, I absolutely love it. I've been walking around with it, and I kind of repeat the funny phrases from the Grinch, like when she says, "Hi, Betty," sort of thing. I've been doing that, and I just think it's so nice and cozy for this winter season. I also wanted to try looking fabulous going down the stairs with a long train, so I had my hubby film me walking down the stairs. Hey, thanks for watching, and please subscribe for more videos like this.